Hi, I'm Christopher Dean and welcome to part 15 of a tutorial series where we build a design system in Sketch. This time we're doing desktop and mobile headers. Okay, let's just have a look at what we're doing. Now when you think about a header for a website, they normally have a logo on the left, a menu on the right, along with some icons, a search icon there on the right hand side. I've made a black or dark version, a white or light version for both desktop and mobile. So let's just have a look at how they're constructed. Okay, the logo is there on the left. The menu's there, and in between each menu item, we've got a spacer. So a spacer is going to help us use the feature in Sketch where you've made a symbol, you overwrite the text, and it pushes everything along, either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, depending on how you've orientated the text. So this label is a right-aligned one. If we place a symbol in the document, header desktop black, let's just put it up here out of the way. We can resize it, and we can also override the menu items. So I'm going to go to menu number 5 and enter contact. If we zoom in and take a look at that, contact has slightly moved over the menu 4 item. And if we add something like services there, it does the same. We don't really need to do that to the mobile version because that's just got a hamburger icon, a user icon, and a search icon, along with a smaller version or responsive version of the logo itself. All right, there's a full header search that when you select the search icon here, it just fades in. You can search or close it for both desktop and mobile as well. And a couple of row items that are going to help us build a mobile menu. All right, we're ready to jump into abstract. And looking at our activity, we can see the merged breadcrumbs and pagination one there. So let's go to master. Go to the top right, select new branch. Enter desktop and mobile header, create branch, go to the top right again and select edit in Sketch. You can see where we were last time here. Let's just delete these and go back to the symbols page. We're going to zoom out, go to the last artboard, duplicate it. Now I did that by holding down Option Shift and dragging it, but you can just copy and paste it if you like. I'm going to move this down one row and over to the left at about 0 and 4,000. Let's zoom in. Change its name to desktop and mobile header. Let's copy that, paste it into the H1, do that again in here, and change these H2s to desktop and mobile. Let's zoom in. We're going to make that spacer symbol first. So let's select the content folder, grab a rectangle. It's going to be 24 by 24. Let's zoom in. Name it spacer / spacer 24px. Let's just convert it into a symbol now. Go and find it and bring it back. It's all the way over here. You have to be pretty precise with this, but here we go. Move it over the other one. Go to that artboard, delete the symbol that was just placed. We're actually going to zoom out and move this artboard to the top, underneath the spacer symbol. Alright, select it and go over to Shape, Surface, Bounding Box. This will make it invisible. Let's move it out of the way. So I'm going to move it up to here. And all the way over to the right-hand side. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back. Select a rectangle again. And we're going to make a rectangle that is 1920 wide and 88 high. Let's group this and call this group header, header desktop / black. Let's drop the black color symbol in there. It's going to go to color, color black. And give that the same size. We're going to keep this one here, but call it shadow. And change it to shape, surface, level 3. That's going to give us our drop shadow when we duplicate the symbol later and turn it into the full header search bar. Let's rename this just color so you can replace it later on in the overrides. And at this stage, we can turn it into a symbol. Okay, it's just under the artboard. Fantastic. Let's move it into place. Clean up the layers, just drag them out. Go to the artboard and delete the one that was just made. Okay. With this selected, we're going to resize on all sides, and we can do that with the shadow as well. Come back and drop in our logo. Lock its sizing and change this to 24. And place it at 32 and 32. Let's put it in its own folder and change the resizing to left, and then fix width and fix height. Next up, we're going to drop in our icons. So let's go grab the icon 24 icon user, white. Just place that anywhere for now. Go and grab the icon 24 icon search, white. Place that next to it. Group those and rename them utility. Just drag that out for now. And you can see I have to move this all the way over here. So it's positioned at 0. That's better. Let's grab those icons, bring them over. And we're going to position the search icon 32 pixels from the top, right, and bottom. Let's just check that. Okay, one more down. This one then can be placed right next to it and move it over twice. That'll give it 16 pixels between each icon. Okay, with the utility folder selected, we're going to group that again and call this menu. Let's zoom back in. Go and grab our label. So that's at DT A label white right. Let's type in menu 5. We're going to zoom in and 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 32 pixels away. Now I've been able to do that by changing my nudge settings to 8. check that again. Okay, we're going to group this and call it main. Okay, we're going to grab that spacer symbol and place it to the left of it. And with that done, just drag it down. And we're going to select both of them and Command D duplicate them and move them over. And this is the tricky part. You're going to make sure they're right next to each other. Okay, we're going to rename this one Menu 4. Duplicate those again. Move them over. Okay. And keep going until you get to menu 1. Now we can delete this spacer, so let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, and with that set up, we're going to grab the menu folder, go over to resizing and select right, then fixed width and fixed height. Inside it, we're going to grab utility and select right, and then fixed width and fixed height. Let's just see if this is all working. Okay, that's set up. Let's place it and see if we can override those labels and see if they work. And in our overrides, you can see we've got some reordering to do. We're starting at 5 and then 4, 3, 2, 1. We want to reverse that just to make it easier for you. So let's select menu item 1, then menu item 2 and its spacer, move that underneath. We're then going to move the spacer in between them. Menu item 3 and its spacer go under menu 2. Then we move that spacer there. Menu 4 and its spacer go under number menu 3. And 5 stays where it is, but we're just going to move its spacer between menu 4 and 5. Let's go back. And that's better. So let's do the same thing we did before. Okay, and that works. And it's still responsive. Now, you might want to change these icons to whatever you like. So let's name this one Icon 1, move it up. And this one Icon 2. Now, you'll be able to select the header, go over to Icon 1, and change it to an alert icon. And with this finished, let's select it and change its background color. You go to the bottom here in the overrides. Okay, red, blue. Okay, that all works. Let's turn it back to black and delete it. We're going to go in and drag this down and duplicate it. Let's just move that into place. Change its name to white. Change the color directly here in white. And that's okay because we've renamed this color. We can change it with whatever we like at the moment. Okay, where did those icons go? Let's go and change them. Let's select the search icon, go over here and select black. Do the same for the user icon. We're then going to select all of the labels and change them to their black version. So DTA A label, black, right. Okay, that's done. Let's duplicate it again. I'll just move the mobile header down. Just turn that shadow off on both of them. Rename this one from white to search. Delete the logo. Come up here and grab DT P black left. Drop that in there and type in search. You could use placeholder text there, but I like actually seeing the search label. Let's just change its grid to 8 by 8. So we can see that we have it positioned at 32 from the left. We're going to select it and the background color and go over to alignment and align vertically. All right, let's go over here. Delete the main part. Drag the utility folder out. Okay, we're going to swap their order. So move this one to there and this one back to here. And we're going to change the user icon to a close icon. Let's go over to the right. And change it to primary. Let's turn on the shadow. Select that text and resize to the left. Let's just test if this is still working. Okay, and that's fine. We're going to go and duplicate the desktop one. Let's just move it to the top. Let's turn our guides back on. And this one I can actually move over and into place. Okay, and now we need a responsive logo. So basically just the brand mark of our brand. Let's go to the brand colors and shared styles artboard. Turn on our guides. Drag this over and duplicate it. Go into it and delete everything else except for the D. And then change this to 48 width. And we're going to add /mark. And let's drop it in. So go to logo primary /mark. Change its width and height to 24. Just going to drag it out of the way and delete this one. I'm now going to drop in the menu icon or the hamburger icon. So let's go grab 24 icon menu white. We're going to position this at 16 pixels from the left and the top. We're going to grab that brand mark and move that over. So it's 16 pixels from the icon we just placed. I'm going to grab this and, okay, its resizing is still set to where it could probably work. Now let's go over and delete that menu. Drag utility outside of it. Position this at around 100 just so we can send it back over to the left and manage it. Okay, now the iPhone 7 has a 375 width. I'm going to use 360 width because it's better for the 8-point grid. So let's grab this color symbol and change this to 360 by 56. I'm going to grab the symbol, make sure that adjust content on resize is deselect, and do the same. Then I'm going to grab those two icons and move them up into the centered vertically position. And this icon should be 16 pixels from the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see if the resizing still works. Let's select that. Okay, great. Let's duplicate this symbol, move it down. Okay, both of them are a bit off on the left. That's better. And change this one to, you guessed it, white. What we might do is change this to icon menu, just so when you go to the overrides, you can change that easily. Let's do the same for this one. Okay, we're going to grab that color symbol in the background and change it to white. We're going to grab the symbol we just renamed, change that to white. Change the user and search icons to their black versions. Okay, and we've still got the shadow layer, so let's change that to 360 by 56 and then turn it back off. Do the same for this one. Okay, grab the white header, move it down, and then make the mobile version of the search bar. So just like we did last time, actually let's just go and copy it into here. Put it right at the top. Position it at 16 on the left. Make sure it's vertically centered. Delete the logo. Turn back on the shadow. And we can copy and paste the icons that we placed here as well. Delete the other ones that were there and make sure they're positioned properly. Okay, and that's it. We've got a header for desktop and mobile that is responsive and has a search bar. Okay, what we need now is a black row item and a white row item. So let's duplicate the header mobile black. Move it over to the right, to about there. Okay, we're going to rename this row /row item /black. Let's go and grab that search label, paste it into here. Move it to the top, delete those two, change it to white. So we're going to go to DT P white left. Change this to label. On the right hand side, we're going to delete the first icon, rename the second icon to just icon. Drag it out, delete the utility folder, and change this to icon 24, icon arrow D for down, white. Okay, let's just turn its resizing to right and fixed width and fixed height, and make sure that is still set for there. Okay, that works, good. And it also works this way. So if you want your row items to be higher, you can do that. Let's duplicate it. Change this to white. Change the label back to black. Change the background color symbol to white and the icon on the right to its black version, or you could use primary there. That's up to you. Okay, now the height of the row item could be this, or it could be a bit smaller. Let's make it a bit smaller by selecting both of them and changing their height to 40. Now, since we had the resizing set to active, that just worked. So they're still where they need to be. And we can go and build a mobile menu with them. So let's go to the Design System Artboards and Grids page. Go over to our artboard at the end, which is the 360 one. Turn on our guides and grid. Okay, let's now go and put that header in there. Header mobile, black. Okay, it's working nicely. Now, let's say you selected the menu icon. You would then duplicate this artboard. Okay, so I'm going to select a rectangle and drag it out so it's the full width and height. I'm going to change this to color black. I'm going to go and grab icon 24, icon close, white. I'm going to place that there and make sure it's 16 from the left and the top. I'm going to rename the rectangle to BG. I'm going to go and grab that row item, the black one, and place that there. Okay, we want it to be around there. Then you can just duplicate it and make another one. You could group this and call it items. Let's do another one. And another one. Okay, if you opened the third one, what would happen there? Let's duplicate this artboard again. Just move it over. Let's move this one down and bring in the white one. So we can go to row item, white, place that there. Make sure it's right underneath the one at the top. Okay, these need to be brought down. Okay, let's group this and call this level 2. You can probably just call this level 1, actually, on both of them. Because this is your level 1 menu and this is your level 2 menu. Okay, now this might not have a level 3. So let's go over to the icon on the right and turn it off. Then duplicate it. Bring it down and then move this one back up. And if you like, you can add some social icons to the bottom. So let's do that. So icon 24, Facebook white. Let's make sure that's 16 pixels from the left and bottom. Just going to group that and call this social. I'm going to grab another one for Twitter. Place that next to it. Zoom in. Make sure that's positioned with its resizing to the left and bottom with fixed width and fixed height. Make sure this top icon is fixed left and fixed top with fixed width and fixed height. Select all these items and make sure they are set to resizing left and right with fixed height if you want. Select level 1 and its resizing can be left, top, right. Now let's see if its resizing works. All right, that worked too. I'll leave those there. I'm going to come over to the desktop one. Drop in the desktop header. Position it at 0 and 0. And it's working nicely as well. So let's bring in that search bar. Position it at 0 and 0. Group these and call this header. And it's really just turning it off and on, really. So this is selecting the search icon, turning on the search bar, and then closing it again. Okay, that's it. We've made a desktop and mobile header and a couple of row items. All right, so building it this way, of course, doesn't let you in the overrides turn this into a different color or a different weight. That's the limitation that we're dealing with now, and I wanted to give you a header that you could actually go into and change into things like home, about, work, services, and contact. If you wanted to highlight those, you could probably draw a thin line under each one when it's in its active state, or put text on top of it that is slightly different. And that's completely up to you. But yeah, the goal here was to try and make something that you could place and change the labels of to whatever you liked. Now, with that said, you could go in here, turn these into symbols and have like an inactive and active state. But we can't do that with this type of setup. When we can, I might come back here and revisit it. And yeah, looking at this header, it's very basic. It's not an e-commerce header. It's not a double tier header. We might do a couple of those when we start building stuff with the Des and Design system. But for now, that's it. Let's save where we are. Go down to preview and commit. Enter desktop and mobile header, -done. Commit changes at the bottom right. Just check everything has worked. Yes, that looks all fine. Go over to the top right and select merge branch, and then merge and archive. Okay, and that's all worked. Now this is the first tutorial I've done in the morning, so hopefully I was a bit more awake for you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.